You're crushing my hand. Langdon flushed and loosened up. Breathe through your eyes, she said. I'm sorry? It relaxes the muscles. It's called pranayama. Piranha? Not the fish. Pranayama. Never mind. As they rounded the corner into Piazza della Rotonda, the Pantheon rose before them. Langdon admired it, as always, with awe. The Pantheon. Temple to all gods. Pagan gods. Gods of nature and earth. The structure seemed boxier from the outside than he remembered. The vertical pillars and triangular pronaos all but obscured the circular dome behind it. Still, the bold and immodest inscription over the entrance assured him they were in the right spot. M. Agrippa LF Castertium Fecit. Langdon translated it, as always, with amusement. Marcus Agrippa, consul for the third time, built this. So much for humility, he thought, turning his eyes to the surrounding area. A scattering of tourists with video cameras wandered the area. Others sat enjoying Rome's best iced coffee at La Tazza d'Oro's outdoor cafe. Outside the entrance to the Pantheon, 4 armed Roman policemen stood at attention just as Olivetti had predicted. Looks pretty quiet, Vittoria said. Langdon nodded, but he felt troubled. Now that he was standing here in person, the whole scenario seemed surreal. Despite Vittoria's apparent faith that he was right, Langdon realized he had put everyone on the line here. The Illuminati poem lingered. From Santi's earthly tomb with Demon's Hole. Yes, he told himself. This was the spot. Santi's tomb. He had been here many times beneath the Pantheon's oculus and stood before the grave of the great Raphael. What time is it? Vittoria asked. Langdon checked his watch. 7:50. 10 minutes till show time. Hope these guys are good, Vittoria said, eyeing the scattered tourists entering the Pantheon. If anything happens inside that dome, we'll all be in the crossfire. Langdon exhaled heavily as they moved toward the entrance. The gun felt heavy in his pocket. He wondered what would happen if the policeman frisked him and found the weapon, but the officers did not give them a second look. Apparently the disguise was convincing. Langdon whispered to Vittoria. Ever fire anything other than a tranquilizer gun? Don't you trust me? Trust you? I barely know you. Vittoria frowned. And here I thought we were newlyweds. 61. The air inside the Pantheon was cool and damp, heavy with history. The sprawling ceiling hovered overhead as though weightless, the 141-foot unsupported span larger even than the cupola at St. Peter's. As always, Langdon felt a chill as he entered the cavernous room. It was a remarkable fusion of engineering and art. Above them the famous circular hole in the roof glowed with a narrow shaft of evening sun. The oculus, Langdon thought. The demon's hole. They had arrived. Langdon's eyes traced the arch of the ceiling sloping outward to the columned walls and finally down to the polished marble floor beneath their feet. The faint echo of footfalls and tourist murmurs reverberated around the dome. Langdon scanned the dozen or so tourists wandering aimlessly in the shadows. Are you here? Looks pretty quiet, Vittoria said, still holding his hand. Langdon nodded,